Hello, my name is Nicholas Stone, and for this mind map, this was probably the mind map that I found most interesting because it really exposed the fragility of the argument between how much technology is too much technology. And honestly, I feel like at the end of the day, that's just an impossible question to answer. Um, it's incredible to think, having read these articles and understanding the arguments, particularly about the parity principle, um, just how necessary technology is, and at the same time, just how easily it can destroy us. Um, One of the things that really stood out to me about the through line between these three articles was the idea that technology is kind of like a beating heart at the core of our evolutionary principles and our characteristics of simply being a human and an animal, wanting to evolve, to survive, to provide safety, food, and satiate hunger. Um, in that capacity, we rely on technology. Technology is not necessarily something that we create, but it's something that is created out of our distinct human instincts. Um, Technology is simply, it's, to boil it down, it's not just what we refer to it as today, which is, you know, being some sort of way to describe complex machinery or computing, chips of that sort. But really, technology is just something that helps us aid in the process of some sort of physical mechanic, as a means to assuage some mortal issue that we have. And understanding the idea that technology can be interpreted as a physical manifestation of our cognitive processes really just shows how intrinsic technology is to the human being at its core. We create technology because we view it as a means to help us. There is no world that we can really live in without us creating technology. And then on the other side of the argument, you say, okay, well, yeah, that's true, but we're at such a critical age in this unbelievable era of computing that we just don't realize the fact that we are quickly progressing to a point where this technology is so powerful now, is so complex now, and has so many more capabilities and use cases that seemed very infeasible even just a number of years ago. We're at this point now that what is the tipping point? When does technology overtake us, and when do we become post-human? The guiding principle that I feel like I've mentioned in a few of my mind maps has simply been the fact that I believe that technology is only useful to us and healthy to us up until the point that it becomes a limiting factor of any part of our cognitive state or human response or mortal responsibilities or mortal capacities. To explain, I believe that we should be creating technology with the vision of it specifically helping to assuage some problem of the mortal experience. If we're creating technology simply to replace aspects of the mortal experience, to altogether forego that experience, then we're effectively giving up some part of ourselves. And it's kind of like the thing where it's kind of like the saying where you have a boat, and it's an old boat, and you begin to replace parts of it, and you make a new ship with the old parts. At what point, when the old ship is completely made of new parts and the new ship is made of completely all of the old parts, which one is the original ship? It's the same idea. What is the line between when we lose our ability to call ourselves humans? And I think that the point that we can effectively say that is when we begin creating technology to replace those aspects which are so essential and crucial to our human experience. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day.